Welcome on into another episode of Game Runs Deep and Talk of Champions. I'm Sudu Upadhyay. That has been Garrett.
Yes, it is.
We are coming off one of the greatest, the completion, I should say, of one of the greatest storylines in the history of college football. And I don't think I'm being dramatic when I say that, Ben. What Indiana football was able to accomplish going 16-0, the only team to do so, I think, in modern college football, is nothing short of remarkable for where they were at a couple years ago. And for our Ole Miss listeners, that is obviously a great sign of what could be coming in the future as well. But before we get to all that, Benny G, what's up, man? Tell me about how your week's been since the last time I saw you.
God is good. Last night, had a great time with Gracie and two of her friends, Ivory, Jane, and Doro. Dorothea Josephine, one of the most beautiful names in the world, in my opinion. Great names. Dorothea Josephine, who I call Dragon. She had never been to Hibachi before. So we rolled in Tupelo. We went to see Zootopia 2. It was delightful. First time I've been to the movie in a minute. Riley and her friend Karenni, they went with Emily shopping and stuff. And then after we went to the movie, we all gathered together and decided to go to Mount Fuji. Got the whole onion volcano experience, you know.
Turn up, Ben.
The whole deal. So they were having a good time. That was Doro's first time ever experiencing hibachi, which seemed insane to me. And she had an absolutely delightful time while the college football playoff finale, the national championship, came. And I said to them in the middle of it, or before it even really started, to be honest with you, I looked over them and said, man, I really thought we were all going to be in Miami, guys. I know. But Indiana, it is a tremendous story. It was completely predictable how it ended with a Carson Beck interception. And now looking forward to 2026-7, the question becomes, is this the new normal? Is this the new normal? Where in Indiana 2 years ago, after a 3-9 season, Kurt Cignetti says, I win, Google me. 2 years later, if you just do it right and you hire right and you have full uniformity and you're pulling together, is this something where anybody can be a national champion? Because there's a lot broken with the system, a lot of it. What isn't broken, one of the things that that we need to celebrate constantly is that in Indiana, and then turn around and win a national championship in 2 years after going 3-9, after being historically one of the worst programs in college football. And there are going to be some that say, well, so-and-so should have won or so-and-so should have won. To be honest with you, it felt right that Indiana finished it off the way they did. Hats off to Miami, played tough, but I saw a stat this morning that, man, it's from @David Hale Joint, just random account on Twitter. But look at this. Carson Beck lost just 6 games in his college career. In 4 of them, the final offensive play was a Beck interception with a chance to win the game.
Yeah. I saw that. And watching that final drive, Ben, and as somebody who picked Indiana to win, wanted Indiana to win, I had this real immense anxiety in my stomach for Carson. I don't know Carson very well. I covered him for 2 years. Great guy to me. People have what they have to say about him online. He was always very kind to me. I kind of felt bad before he threw the pick, Ben. Before he threw that pick, in my head, I went, I think I've seen this movie before, and I think I know how this is going to end. And that's exactly what happened. And the human side of me came out a little in that moment, and I genuinely felt bad. I celebrated Indiana getting that pick like that was my team. Like I was, I was fist pumping, whatever. But I still had this feeling in my heart for Carson. I'm like, God, dude, they built this up so much for this guy. Oh, he got shunned at Georgia. He came to Miami. His girlfriend left him, and everyone turned against him. And look at him.
I cheated on the Cavallari girl with a porn star. I don't know. Like
I don't know if a Bella Danger was involved in that. I have heard that he cheated. Right.
I don't care about any of that because that is not any of our concerns. Like I know that this culture in college football, everybody wants to talk about the drama of it, and it is a soap opera. Don't get it twisted. I mean, but I mean, look what Ole Miss just went through for 2 months. It's a soap opera. It's petty. It's very Pretty Little Liars. It's very I think Pretty Little Liars is kind of the perfect encapsulation of what college football is, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to add anything. Like, that's what it is. A lot of backstabbing, but it's juicy.
Yeah.
It's delicious. You know?
Yeah.
I don't care about Carson Beck and what he went through.
Who he cheated on or if he did or not.
Don't care.
Kirk
Not our
Herbstreit, that final drive was like, and what a moment for Carson Beck.
And he threw a pick.
Guy, and it ends in a pick. And when Herbstreit said it, Ben, I went, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I've seen this. I was right there on the sideline when Xavier Brown intercepted the ball in Tuscaloosa, ending Georgia's comeback attempt on Bama. I've seen it way too many times with Beck. And once again, for a guy that was never mean to me or never a douche to me, I sort of felt a little bad. But how can you really feel that bad when Indiana football, who coming into the year had the most losses ever in FBS history, they got over that this year. I think now it's like Northwestern or forgive me if I'm wrong on that, but it's another team took over. But like that was Indiana, and they just won a natty. And Ben, not only did they win the natty, I mean, they did it in the most baller-ass way possible. On a 4th and 5, their non-mobile quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, decides to just say, and he said this multiple times, I would have died on the field. I would have died on the field, this guy said. How can you not love it, man? Meanwhile, we talk about like NIL and money and people switching sides and all this shit. This kid's just like, I was going to die on the field for my team.
The first thing I thought, like, because Game Runs Deep, when Sudu and I like came up with this, we were like going to do, it's more of a big picture show, but like I cover Ole Miss for a living, like on a day-to-day basis. So like I liken a lot of stuff back to Ole Miss just because it's what I know. Right. And you've got Fernando Mendoza saying I would have like died on the field. Meanwhile, Winnie Watkins is on IG. Girls, boy. And then like the minute like losing snap share toward the end of the year, and the minute he can go, what does he do? He gets out of here. You know what I mean? It is good. For me, you can be very cynical about the sport these days. All right.
Yeah.
I know I am one of them. You get swept up in the day-to-day minutia, and you think it's just not the spirit of the thing as it used to be. And then Indiana wins the national championship in 2025-26. Like, I wanted Miami to win only because they put Ole Miss out. Because, like, if you want the team that puts you out to win it all,
sure,
it just makes you look better. And it becomes a question of where should these teams be ranked in our top 10 at the end of the year and then projecting forward for next year. And we're going to do that in a second because I really want to do that. Because On 3 released a way too early top 25 yesterday.
It was not popular, man. Surprise.
My company, they've been wonderful to me. That QR code right above Sudu, I do that every time. Right above Sudu's head is for the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, Philly 13. That's my website. New members get 50% off. Join us. We'd love to have you. I love my company and what they've done. But man, that top 25, they missed the mark on that one. But one thing that is inarguable is that the best team in college football, which was the Indiana Hoosiers, finished it off. And I just think that's awesome.
It is. It's
exactly as it needed to be. Like, in a cynical world of college football in the year of our Lord 2026, it's a nice, not respite, because like it's history. It's what you do the whole operation for. It's what we all, are in this for, is to get to that mountaintop of winning the national championship.
Yeah. It makes me go.
Indiana is just chef's kiss.
It made me last night. I was texting a buddy of mine, and I said, dude, how can you not be romantic about this sport? Despite all the toxicity and all the stuff that surrounds it. Watching that Indiana team this season, it was a literal joy. They just do everything so right. I saw a stat, Ben, where they haven't fumbled the ball in like 15 games. 15 games without a fumble. That's never happened. Like, that just doesn't happen in college football. They every time Indiana committed a penalty last night during that game, Fowler and Herbie were like, "Oh my God, Indiana committed it. They just got a flag. Like that's not supposed to happen." Like, that's I
gotta say one brief thing, and forgive me for interrupting, but like,
no, you're good.
I love Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Like, over the course of my college football fandom, which dates back to, I'm 40 years young, man. Yeah. But like, dang, last night wasn't it. It wasn't it. And worse than that, playing that game on the 19th, it didn't feel like the event that it should. First of all, college football should be on a Saturday. The championship game should be on Saturday because Saturdays are reserved for college football, never on a Monday. The Fiesta Bowl should never be on a Thursday. And then next year, the national championship game is on the 25th.
That's just ridiculous.
Nearly 2 months after your regular season ends.
Yeah.
To me, that's more egregious than even the NBA postseason, which is completely ridiculous. You know what I mean? It starts in like April and it lasts till June. This is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm with old memes. How do you explain what Signetti pulled off? One, man, the man told you 2 years ago who he was. I just love when people mean what they say and say what they mean.
Sometimes, too, though, old memes, it's like, and this is something the older I get, the more I believe in. It's literal belief, dude. It's waking up every damn day like, I deserve to be here. I'm not beneath anybody. And it truly affects every action you take. It's such a, like, hippie spiritual thing if you bring it up in some circles. Like, my friends are like, come on, man, give me a... But I'm like, no, dead serious. Like, Saban, think of all the great coaches. It all starts with visualization, with belief. Like, he came in day one, talking noise like he was the head coach at Miami or Georgia or Bama. And he did this at Indiana because once he established that within the public, guess who was listening to that? His players. The guys in the portal that are looking at their schools, they're going, damn, that dude's talking a lot of noise right now. And then he backed it up year one. And it gave him momentum to go get more guys. And then come year two, the same approach. And it worked again. It literally starts up here at the end of the day. No matter how much football knowledge you have and all this other stuff, which obviously is a huge part of it. But it literally started with him going, this is what I do. Like, I'm a freaking winner, and we're going to win here. And then everything else just followed after that.
I'm just really bummed out that it's over. I am. I'm bummed out that it's over. For me, this has been one of the most unforgettable years professionally, personally, Ole Miss-wise, you pick it. Like, it's been good, bad, happy or sad, one of the most unforgettable years. And I'm bummed to see it all end. I am thankful that Indiana finished it off. Because, like, as someone who's had nothing but LSU fans in my mentions and in my comments on my podcast, and how Lane Kiffin left essentially saying hashtag just different and complained about capacity sizes and how blue bloods and blah, 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 blah. Indiana just put the middle finger up to all that. Kurt Signetti is who Lane Kiffin thinks he is. Because Kurt Signetti finished the job. Now, I'm not saying that had Lane finished the job, he would have been like Kurt Signetti and won the national championship. I think they'd have lost to Georgia again in Sugar Bowl had Lane been the head coach. The point is Indiana winning in 2026 glosses over for me so many of the warts of this ridiculous sport. The best sport ever created. All right. But, man, in 2026, people are royally trying to screw it up, be it the calendar. And when I say the calendar, I'm not just talking about the portal opening up during your postseason, which is just bad.
Nuts.
Crap insane.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you can't even, like, fall in love with your team anymore. Like, I can still tell you stories about Eli's Ole Miss career. I can still tell you stories about Deuce McAllister, but I can go much deeper than that. I can tell you about Charles Sawyer. You know what I mean? I can tell you about D.T. Shackelford. There used to be more connective tissue to this stuff. What I've learned in 2026 is the sport is blown up mostly because of self-sabotage. Is you, the fans watching this, if you're an Ole Miss fan, an LSU fan, a Alabama fan, hell, an Indiana fan, right? Whoever's watching this, whatever fan you are that school now, right? In that way, it's become very much like the business of the NFL. But like it's unfettered capitalism. It's nice to see the spirit of the thing still win out, at least for one more year. At least for one more year. Indiana won the national championship. Indiana. If Indiana can do it, anybody can do it. And I look at it this way. It's not like Indiana went out and spent all the most money in the portal on kids. It's scouting, evaluation. I think Old Memes hit us up in the comments. It's the money ball approach. It's what we've been talking about with Ole Miss, quite frankly. What they do is better than what most others do. If LSU is the New York Yankees, then Ole Miss is the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Tampa Bay Rays have been more consistently good and in the postseason than the Yankees, right? Especially in the modern era. All right. We all think, well, if I just spend $40 million on a roster and do this and this and this and hire the biggest name and do this and this and this, all blue-bloodedness will return. Kurt Signetti said, hell no, it won't.
Yeah.
That man has Lewis Moore. Lewis Moore left Indiana, came to Ole Miss, starting safety for them last night, number 7. He was pretty good at Ole Miss, not great. Went back for his final year, played insanely well, and won a championship. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lewis Moore was not somebody that was a prize transfer portal addition for them. If anything, it was a reunion after a little bit of not a lost year, but a down year for him comparatively. He just won a national championship. Culture still matters. Who your coach is still matters, right? Uniformity still matters. And as long as that remains, the spirit of college football, dying as it has been with all the nonsense of the supposed adults in the room, college football will still continue to give us these moments that remind us what we loved about it in the first place.
No doubt.
Why we cut out old newspaper clippings, in 2001 and framed them and put them on your wall. How many people cut out Quinshawn breaking a single or breaking the Ole Miss single season? You know what I mean? He goes to Ohio State, right?
Well, that record was broken just a mere couple years later, so by one Kewan Lacey. But
Kewan Lacey.
Everything you said, I'm with Ben. Yeah, there's a lot of toxicity. You're right, and so much crap, but it is nice, and just like everything about it. And Signetti, to me, dude, it's like he seems so cold, but he's still very approachable, which is different than Saban, right? Like Saban's demeanor was like, I'm an asshole all the time. Now he's great on TV, but that's what he used to be. Signetti,
I do love this though. Like I don't mind so much going to 16 like I used to.
Yeah. I think 16 is the perfect number. Anything above that is way too much for Division I FBS college football. It's just not.
See, I believe 12 is the perfect number. I believe in getting rid of automatic.
I'm okay with staying at 12, but I'm saying if you are going to expand, I really hope it doesn't go over 16 because you don't want to water down the product that much. I mean, we've gotten away with not watering it down at 12, which I thought maybe could have been an issue, and I wanted to maybe go to 8 from 4. But 16 to me is the perfect amount where you can get like the teams kind of on the outside can get in and maybe make a run. And it's not too ridiculous. But, dude, if you go to 24, what are we doing at that point? Yeah. And that's what the Big Ten wants. And I agree with the SEC on this one. It's like, dude, why are we doing that? Like,
but the thing I really want more than anything, if there's going to be reform, is more games, postseason games on college campuses.
Yes, that has to happen.
Has to happen.
There's no reason that you should be playing anything other than the national title anywhere but home. Like, semifinal, quarterfinal, all that. And here's my thing, bro. Just give the bowl names to those home stadium games. Like, you could have the Sugar Bowl at the Vaught if you wanted to, or at Sanford this year. Like, that's
I don't mind rotating them. And for like the final 4 games or the final 8 games, you go to 16. That can be the Fiesta, the Sugar, the Cotton, the blah blah blah. Those are the only ones you're really trying to protect anyway.
That's fair.
My whole deal is, fine, expand it to 16. Expand it to 16. I won't kick and scream.
Yeah.
But I have a few requests. Number 1, more postseason games on college football campuses up until at least the semifinals.
Yeah.
Right?
At least the set. Like, yeah, anything before the semis has to be on home campuses. I agree.
Number 2. All right. The Rose Bowl should be the national championship game every single year. Now everybody's like, now we start the march to Vegas. What? What? Like, Vegas is hosting the championship game next year. Like, It should be in Pasadena. The Rose Bowl parade should be a part of it. You should like have Fernando Mendoza the day after on Sunday, Monday. Disneyland's right down the dang road. You know what I mean? He and Kurt Signetti should like that should be what it is. Lean into the pageantry of what made college football great.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like
Vegas is not a college football town, by the way.
You want
like,
to dip into the West. Do you want to dip into the West Coast market? It's not sending Lincoln Riley to USC. It's putting the Rose Bowl as the national championship game. That because that is the best game. Now, if the Sugar Bowl was the best game, or if you want to rotate them like that, fine. Well, you're getting 16 now, so the Sugar Bowl has to be the championship at least once. The Fiesta Bowl has to be the championship game at least once. The Orange Bowl, fine. I'm fine with that. As long as you stick more teams in playoff games on college campuses, because I'm telling you, as someone who covered Ole Miss Tulane, which was a non-competitive game, it was different. It was different. It felt like what you fall in love with. And that's my whole thing. Indiana allowed like winning allows all of us to go, okay, warts and all. Look what it did. Look what this terrible system that is completely uncontrolled or like no guardrails. At least it brought your sport to this, where it's not the same. Now, here's the question. Is that 3 straight championships for the Big 12, 10? What is it?
Big 10?
Yeah, that's 3 straight.
Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana.
Are we having a crisis of faith in the SEC?
Hey, man, at a certain point, you got to, as a guy who grew up in the South and watched the SEC and loves Ole Miss, it's kind of weird seeing that, but you got to give credit where credit is due. The Big Ten they've been doing it. They've done it for 3 years. Now, the Michigan one, I'm sure we'll get some comments about Harbaugh and the cheating scandal, whatever, but, you can choose to not give them credit for that, but they've done it 3 straight years.
A 2014 playoff, according to Tyler, is literally the only way to keep bowl season alive. Otherwise, it's dead. Good. I don't say that because, like, I'm trying to be a dick. Yeah. God is good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not being rude to bowls have always been meaningless. That's how the corporations first got their foothold into our sport, telling us, well, this exhibition game sponsored by Pop-Tart is a reward unto itself. Let them eat cake, so we'll give them bowl gifts, like some gear. Oh, they got a fancy watch that says Cotton Bowl on it. You know what I mean? No, make the games matter. If you don't get into the playoffs, you know what most every other team, like in every other sport, when they don't make the playoffs, what that means for them? Their season is over. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's over. But corporate greed continues to prop up a system that is just, I thought it was all cynical and too far gone that Indiana finished it off. So I'm trying to be optimistic about it.
No, you're not wrong, but there is still a glimmer of hope. And here's the thing about those bowl games. You want to keep those bowl games and you want to keep those corporate people happy. This is what I brought up earlier in the season. This is where you give the group of 5 their own playoff. And all those playoff games can be all these bowl games. Or a lot of them. Not every single bowl game is going to survive, but there's way too many bowl games. I think we all agree. Like us growing up, you growing up, me growing up, like, yeah, there were all these other bowls, but it wasn't what it is now, where like every company seems to have a bowl. I mean, Barstool had a bowl game. I don't know if they still do, but I know they did at one point. It's like, so anyways, it's one of those things for me where if you do want to keep the bowl games, there is a kind of separate level of college football that currently feels left out probably in the group of 5. They only get, 1 or 2 teams into the playoff every year anyways. Give them their own playoffs and make those bowl games their playoff games and put it at their home stadiums. Like, this isn't hard to me. You can still make money. The only people that would be upset would be probably the stadiums or the cities these bowl games are held in, because I'm sure it brings in some economic dollars for them. But like,
oh no,
I know. It's like, come on, at the end of the day, you have to do it for the health of the sport. But anyways, no, props to Indiana. Before we continue, Ben and I are going to do kind of a season recap on the things we got right, things we got wrong, the biggest surprises. Before we do that, though, let's get some of these Ole Miss comments that have been here. Obviously, it's our biggest listener base here on Game Runs Deep, and we don't want to make y'all feel like you're waiting for us to answer some of these questions. So, Ben, I'm going to start with this one on
rapid fire. Ben, like, is this Ben's grinding his gears or like
this is like I'm a prop up these and look at him. He's cracking his fingers. He's
hit me with
loosening his shoulders. All right. With Prince Will being reported that he is transferring to LSU with the news breaking today, do you see us trying to bring in another high-end pass rusher?
Possibly, but I really think Blake Purchase, Renaud from Alabama, McDonald from Nevada, they feel like they checked those boxes and kind of covered themselves with all eventualities, but they're never going to close the door, especially on the defensive side of adding impact players. Do I think something is front burning? No, but do I think they could add? Absolutely.
Did Prince Will has it officially been announced? I saw one LSU account yesterday tweet about it, but
that one LSU account, man, that's my dude, and he's really good at what he does. So, I have a lot of respect for him, and man, we talk pretty regularly, and he's a good dude, and he's been on top of a lot of stuff. So, I think Prince Will is going to LSU. I really do.
Is it $600K? Is that the buyout?
590.
$590,000.
And where does that go? That essentially gets folded back into your rev share piece.
Perfect.
So
a lot of money coming from LSU to Ole Miss this year between the buyouts for Kiffin and staff, and I'm sure I don't think Daugherty had a deal, but Prince Will. I mean, LSU's really
Devin Harper.
Yeah. Oh, Harper, yeah, dude. Shout out LSU, man.
Really they're shelling out, man. I want to say north of $30 million for this roster. I mean, you're paying at least $2 million in overall value for Prince Willie Monmielen, who led Ole Miss in sacks and was a great player, but he also wasn't anything until he got to Ole Miss. And you could say, well, Lane Kiffin turned him into that. Lane Kiffin doesn't coach defense.
He doesn't coach that side of the ball.
Now, what he did do, which is a great move, was taking Lou Spanos with him.
Yeah.
Lou Spanos was instrumental for Princely Monmielen as well as Prince Will. So you're about to learn if it was more Lou Spanos, Randall Joyner, and Pete Golding. I would lean toward the latter. But and then you got to ask yourself as an Ole Miss fan, is $2 million for Prince Will the right price point, or would you rather have so? And then you might say, well, I want all of them. Well, that's not realistic, right? That's just not realistic. And what Indiana and them just proved, again, it's about the evaluation. It's not about spending the most money or taking pictures in Bentleys and saying, oh, what a beautiful day it's going to be. Blindside day.
What was that about?
Don't know what you're talking about. What? I just pulled that out of nowhere. What you're talking about,
Blindside day is crazy.
Because I know there's going to be other questions about like Jordan Seaton potentially visiting Ole Miss, and there's a chance and all that kind of stuff that he might visit. But at the end of the day, I don't think Ole Miss is going to necessarily, I don't know who those names are right now that they would necessarily sign to bring in another high-end pass rusher, but they're never going to turn away good players, and I expect Prince Will to end up at LSU. And for LSU, Prince Willie Monmielen to pay Ole Miss $590K in buyout.
Perfect. From Gavin, any more news on Luke Farrelly? Is it completely done?
He's on campus. He drove through the night over the weekend. I don't do the official tweeting or the official announcements for Ole Miss. I can just tell you what I know, and the man drove through the weekend to get to Ole Miss from Clemson. At the end of the day, a lot like Prince Will, if the kid wants to be somewhere, can't really stop him. That's part of the problem. Like that you can't. The contracts don't mean that much.
Well, it sounded like he hadn't signed a rev share deal, Ben. I don't know if you saw some of that.
Well, Prince Will had, so that is an important distinction.
So there is a difference. So I know Clemson fans are losing their minds and they're going, well, Ole Miss, you're getting on to Kiffin for tampering. What about you? And it's like, yes, no, absolutely. Everybody is tampering.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? It's awful.
And that's what we came on the pod the other day. And I said, hats off to Kiffin, man. He did this at Ole Miss. Ole Miss fans didn't complain. He's doing the same now. There's just other background stuff that's involved with this that makes it a little more than just any program doing it. There's obviously a lot that happened on the way out, a lot what was said, how certain people handled themselves, which adds a little more fuel to the fire. But no, Clemson fans are right. Like, that's what teams are doing. What I will say to you, Clemson fans, is your school didn't get the kid to sign a rev share agreement. He was supposedly in classes and didn't have a rev share agreement. That's
I think I would make it very clear to everybody, not just Ole Miss people. I'm talking about Clemson people, everybody, even LSU people. Like, if you strip away your fandom, your biases, and just look at the the system for what it is, it's a joke. Like
It
the
is.
fact that Ole Miss can think it re-signed its leading pass rusher and projected starting right tackle for next year, and they did re-sign them. Like according to every other walk of life, when you sign a contract, it's binding and all that. Instead, there's no one to say, yeah, that is binding. And taking them to court is going to take way too long. By that point, the eligibility question is just gone. You know, it's if your complaint is the system is broken, I agree with you.
Yeah.
If your complaint is, well, look at what Pete Golding and Ole Miss are doing compared to, nope, they're playing in this by the same rules, which there are no rules as everybody else, and it sucks. It's
and
shitty.
there's also a context with Kiffin that it's like it gets lost on people, and then they start calling you out or me out or whoever, saying, "Oh, well, you share the receipts. You're only hiding behind anonymous sources." It's like, well, you don't get this information if you're just outing their names. First of all, second of all, with Kiffin, there was a level of trolling going on where it's not just like, hey, I'm building my roster, so I'm coming to get this guy because that guy's interested in me. That's what that whole thing was we were talking about the other day of him FaceTiming Ole Miss roster guys on the roster or speed dialing them. Once again, he is allowed to do this because there are no rules. Just because, it's whatever. It seems wrong. It must not be because no one's enforcing it, right? But there's a level of
it is
going on.
It is like morally shitty and wrong.
It is. And I think both you and I agreed there should be rules. Like Ole Miss shouldn't be allowed to do it. LSU, whoever. Nobody should be allowed to do it. Same with the faking the injuries thing when Kiffin was here. Ole Miss benefited from that, no doubt. But I hated that for the game. I'm going, God, this is kind of tacky. Like, it helps Ole Miss, but God, it's tacky. I wish they would ban it so we couldn't do it, and then no one else could do it either. And it's kind of the same thing,
Yes, Grant. I feel like, do I repeat myself this much? My man Grant said, are you saying that we can sign up for the Ole Miss Spirit today? To hang out with you guys all day, every day, not just for 1 hour? Yes. And that QR code, scan it.
Grant's a real one for that comment right there. I know he's been listening.
That's a deep. That means he listens all the way to the end.
No doubt.
What I mean? Every time. Fire me up. Yes, that QR code's for the Ole Miss Spirit. It's a website that I write for. Sudu's there occasionally. He doesn't cover just Ole Miss like I do. He is out there doing all kinds of stuff, but he occasionally drops in to say, "Hey, Jonel Aguero is not great in coverage," But other than that,
I like things that are in support of Ben Garrett. You always see a Sudu OM Spirit thumbs up on this. But no, back to that. Yeah, it's like it shouldn't be allowed to happen, but it is happening, and there is a little more context to what the Kiffin Ole Miss thing is. A little different than just the others. But I agree, Clemson fan. If you're pissed, I'm with you. Shouldn't be allowed to happen, but who's enforcing it? We should all be so pissed that somebody actually does something about it. Instead of going at each other, maybe we try to find a different person to get mad at that can actually make a difference. So Luke Ferrelli is going to be a great addition, in my opinion. Very excited. What is it? So in order to win a CFP, we need most of the team is 6-year guys, an average age of 24. Yeah.
Why not? I mean, hey,
yeah.
Trinidad Chambliss wants to come back to Ole Miss next year, point blank period. He's filed in Mississippi court, Lafayette County Chancery Court to be more specific. Tom Mars and William Liston, who William Liston at least helped form the Grove Collective. Yes, he wants to come back to Ole Miss, but if you're a guy who is like, let's be honest, is Trinidad Chambliss a first rounder? Of course not. No. Size. There's Russell Wilson was a third rounder. Like
third rounder, I believe.
Yeah, maybe being a third guy, like a lot like Dylan Gabriel in that way, even at his peak value. Tyler Shuck, right? Tyler Shuck made $2.3 million as the starting quarterback as a rookie for the New Orleans Saints last year. You know what Trinidad's about to get at Ole Miss? Over $5 million. $5 million. So if you can take your money wisely and spread it out over guys like a Lewis Moore, who are more on the back end of the draft or undrafted free agents, and you put that team together and go beat the shit out of 18 and 19-year-olds, it's a pretty good strategy. So, fight for the, 6-year, 5th year of eligibility for whoever of consequence you can. As long as they're old, they've got stripes. I mean, think about this. We've changed the timeline. We don't really think about freshman starters anymore. That's why Malachi Toney at 16 doing what he's doing at Miami is nuts.
16.
Isn't it something crazy like that? Like, he's nuts.
He's 18.
Well, whatever. But like,
You're
dude,
thinking of
no.
Ryan Williams last year, who they would not stop mentioning was 17 years old.
Well, Malachi Tony's like one of the youngest players in college
He is.
football,
He
and
is.
like
He
he's
is.
doing that thing, man.
He
Like,
is.
but and the reason we talk about him, like he seems like, you know, this is not normal anymore. This seems like, you know, this is rare. And it used to be like the AJ Browns and the DK Metcalfs that came in and contributed and stuff. And now you're like, who is this dynamic freshman? You know, like
Yeah.
who was the most dynamic freshman on Georgia this year?
Probably one of their.
But the fact you had to think about it.
Yeah. It's not just, it doesn't just stand out, right?
Yeah. Like, what is this? Here's a talented Tory for a question for Sudu specifically, mainly because he called you by name.
Hell yeah.
What's the difference between what Kiffin is doing versus Campbell Morris, who pulled 30 plus of their former players to their programs? Well,
Tory. I remember Tory. What's up, dude? Holy crap. I haven't heard from him or seen this guy in years. What's different? Well, it's going to be hard for people to understand, Ben. That's the thing. Like opposing fan bases and stuff. And Tory, Ole Miss guy, but there's not. It's more about like we're just building a roster, so I'm going to take all these former players I recruited versus I'm purposefully trying to burn everything down because you didn't let me do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's this like petty nature. But you're right. Like from a just black and white perspective, nothing's different. You're just
really
taking guys that you recruited from your previous roster. The difference with Ole Miss is it's heavier because of the way it happened, because you basically said, I can't win here, and I'm going to desert all these kids that I recruited in this program that I built, but I just can't win a natty here. So I'm going to go to this other school. And then you decide to come take those same players you said you couldn't win with, and you're trolling people on the way out. You're purposefully trying to harm the program. You're calling coaching candidates saying, oh, I think I'm going to stay, actually. You're literally doing everything you can to burn down what you built on the way out. So there's more animosity between the two sides versus just two random programs that one coach is going from one school to the other. It's different. Also, like it being a rivalry is a big deal. Like it really is. I keep saying that over and over, and people try to fight me on that, but it is.
It is. Like, and again,
is.
I don't know this. I'm asking genuinely. Did Matt Campbell, did Eric Morris, either of them, after kids, quote, re-signed? And yeah, we all agree, like, there's nothing enforceable in this wild, wild west, but like, at least the basic decency of, okay, they've re-signed there. You know, you got John Sumrall giving $100K to Tulane saying, hey, no, you know, I want to help Tulane continue. Instead, it was like, I don't care that Prince Will re-signed. I don't care that Devin Harper re-signed. What's his buyout? Yeah, we can pay that. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a pettiness and an intentional, I don't know, like an intentional shittiness.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different here. But in terms of like what, like you said, black and white, oh yeah. It's the same thing, but I would just argue there are different factors at play that make this a little bit unique.
It's a little more nuanced than just, hey, this coach left and he's taking all his.
You got another question, buddy.
And he knew he was on the pass rush. Yeah, he's going to Miami to take a visit. I don't know if
taking it over for Ruben Bain, Darren Mensah taking over for Carson Beck.
Man, I wanted Damon Wilson so bad. Dude. I'm assuming he's talking about Wilson and not Williams. Yeah.
Are you wanting him? Are you wanting him at Ole Miss? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, Ben, has that been a secret?
Is that what you're? No, it's not. He's been like beating that drum. He's been beating that drum.
Give him the $3 million or figure it out. Like, dude, because if you add Damon Wilson to all the depth they've just built at the edge position, Purchase on one side, Wilson on the other, Eccles in the middle, dude. Oh, he texted Ben the other day. Ben hasn't said anything, but he actually listened to our show, I guess, or someone must have sent him a clip, because he said, great takes today. And I said, Ben, what take? He's like, he didn't say. He just
I said, you got to be more specific. I said, hey, look at what Gracie went and spoke at FCA today. That's what I said. I sent her speech. He was like, I saw that. I saw you led the show with that. And I thought that was great. And then he came back in at the end and said something like, Knox is actually sad. And I was like, I don't know what this is in reference to. So maybe
you hosting the show with Knox, man. Maybe Knox misses you, man. You guys had a
I
great show
very,
together.
very seriously doubt that. Jacob,
No,
Kent, thanks for joining us. We just talked about Prince Will. We think he's going to LSU, and Ole Miss will be owed buyout money almost at $600K. I heard specifically 590.
Ben, you guys are best friends whether you want to admit it or not. Because everybody's called their friend a hoe before, and then you just drink a beer and you laugh it off. Like, you guys are boys. You're sending him pictures of your daughter speaking at FCA. He's talking about
I sent the video specifically, and I said, "This is Gracie. You don't really know her, but like, this is what I like." You're thinking about my takes. I'm really excited because Gracie's finally showing.
Y'all are best friends. Coach Kiffin, if you're watching right now, man, hey, just keep it up, man. I love this friendship you guys have formed. This bond between you two is just remarkable.
You're getting me back for all the Georgia trolling I did to you earlier in the year. You're getting me back for all the Miami trolling.
I cannot wait to make this into a social clip and tag Lane in it and be like besties. I might even do a Step Brothers thing and put it on there. Let's get creative, chat. Come up with some things I can do to really spruce up this Ben Garrett, Lane Kiffin friendship video that I'm about to put together later today.
Well, if you do put something together, let me just say one thing very clearly. All right, I don't have anything personally against Lane Kiffin.
It's your best friend. Of course you don't.
But having said that, dude, just go be an LSU Tiger. You know what I mean? Just let everything Ole Miss go. Poosh, done. And I almost this is a great suggestion because I almost sent to Lane, you want to break the internet? Just come on the pod.
Come on the show, dude.
Just come on. And we'll talk about it. Sure. And you know what? That's probably going to be the next text. I'm going to go, you know what? Let's stop all this foolishness.
I'd love to have him come on and explain some of his offensive concepts to me. I would just nerd out. I'd be like,
yeah, you nerd out with all that. And then I'll go, all right, now, can we please get into the weeds about, is losing Chris Graves a big deal? Not when you've added Sharif Denson, Jay Crawford's pushing to start, and he's going to push to start. He was a stud for Auburn for 2 years, started as a freshman, and you return your stars in Antonio Kite and Jalen Braxton anyway. Like, I just think the room got too crowded, and Chris is in his money year. He kind of got exposed a little bit, in the postseason run, but he got better last year. And I'm thrilled to see him land at Missouri. That's a great spot for him. And I hope he does great things. But, yeah, I don't see it as a big deal. We got to get Ulysses on. Guys, I am trying to get Ulysses on. It takes two to tango. And initially it was like, heck yeah. Now it's kind of like, well, but there's some – there are layers to this. There's some – and always be efforting. And I am always efforting. But I can't promise you. And, again, Cole Rebb joining us. We talked about Forelli already. He drove through the night over the weekend. He's at Ole Miss.
This is a good one, by the way, Ben. I've
got that. Someone's not subscribed to the Ole Miss Spirit.
Powerline, come on, buddy.
Spirit.com.
What are we doing?
You're giving me my 5. This is more than 5 minutes of just Ben grinding.
I know. Well, let's get with. So obviously, tight ends coach is going to be Cody. How do you say his last name? Is it Woodhill?
Yes. I guess.
Cody Woodhill. He's a native of Hernando, Mississippi. Obviously, the tight ends coach at Miami, just won a national title, or played for a national title, rather. And he was the lead recruiter down there as well. So brings some recruiting prowess.
And he's going to get an elevated title.
Solid coach, assuming he will get one of those. And
Paul Constantine is the strength and conditioning coach, by the way, Powerline.
Oh, that's right.
I hope that Powerline is not like, I see that there's a Powerline picture, like actual, like literal Powerline. But whenever I think of Powerline, I think, when you look into each other's life, like the Goofy movie, Powerline, voiced by.
That's the name of the band.
The band. He's the superstar in a Goofy movie. Powerline.
I don't remember
know
that.
What Powerline is,
bro. I haven't seen the Goofy movie since.
If we look into
that's the one where his dad drives him to college, right?
Fine. Drops him at college.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really disappointed in you.
Is that not the one we're talking about?
We're talking about freaking Powerline, man. Anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? Look at my guy, Powerline. Act like you got this sauce. Act like you got this sauce like Powerline.
Wait, so this movie...
The perfect cast.
This is before the Goofy goes to college one, or is this the same one?
See, look, Eric gets it. Love the Goofy movie reference. That's a deep pool. No, see, like, Roxanne, Max is trying to impress Roxanne. but his dad just wants to go on a nice little trip.
Okay, so it is the one I'm talking about. I just want a confirmation.
I'm just sitting here saying the college one was the second movie.
Okay, that's what my
all right,
brain
so get
goes
that out of here.
Okay, all right,
we're
that's
talking
not
about
that one.
The Goat, a Goofy movie. All right, with Max and my guy Goofy. My favorite thing about like old like Mickey Mouse cartoons is like when Goofy would fall off the edge of a cliff and you hear, and then, I thought that was funny as hell. Oh my god! But yeah, dude, I can't believe you've never heard of Powerline. Are you serious?
I mean, I've seen the Goofy movie, bro, but I was young when I saw that.
Golly.
You got about 7, 8 years on me, Benny. Okay, some of my experiences happened when I was a kid, and you were like,
all right, let me ask you this.
You were like 14 or something.
So the Dakota Kings have been that came out 10 years before I was born, man. Yes, look at Matty P. It's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Pauly Shore is his best friend. Are we
that rings a bell? The Leaning Tower of Pisa?
The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah,
that rings.
That's insane. That pizza. Oh, dude, tell me about it. Real Joe gets it, man. Go watch the Goofy movie, everybody. All right, and you got Max and God, I can't remember his friend's name, but it's Pete's son, whatever. Pete, Stinky Pete. And they're sitting in the hotel, the rundown hotel, eating this pizza. It's the cheesiest pizza you ever saw. When we were kids, we're like, man, you chased that pizza everywhere you went. Man, I want pizza. Hey, can you give me extra cheese? Thinking it would be this long string of cheese, like from a Goofy movie. You really don't know what I'm talking about. I feel so stupid. That is hilarious.
No, don't feel stupid, man. That's awesome. That's a deep pull, and clearly a lot of people here are reminiscing now because of you.
I'm just saying, Tevin Campbell. Like, do you know who Tevin Campbell is?
I know Tevin Campbell. Yes,
he voices Powerline.
Oh, okay.
Like a R&B boss,
like a legend. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about a legend.
No, he's a legend.
Tevin Campbell's awesome, but like
Tevin Campbell's a legend.
Okay, well,
we'll give him that.
Sudu is so lost. He's coming around.
No, I got a little bit.
Listen to each other's eyes. We'll find we're never too far apart. And maybe I can't believe you don't know Powerline, bro. That's insane. That's insane.
Anyways, all
right. We're done with this. 5 minutes. Well, that went off the rails.
Oh goodness. All right, what else we got? Okay, so Constantine, we talked about Woody Old coming in as tight ends coach. Constantine's the one that came from Bama, assistant.
That's
right at Bama.
Correct. Okay. He was the Atlanta Falcons strength and conditioning coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait, Falcons. Was he at Bama at some point? Did I make that up?
He was. He coached at Bama together. Like after Scott Cochran left.
Yeah.
Constantine was and someone else. They did like this dual strength and conditioning set up under Nick Saban. He went to 2 instead of 1 under Scott Cochran. One of them was Constantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get you. Okay. We will try to catch more of these when we can, but let's I want to kind of have a little fun here and look back on some things that we got right, we got wrong. Maybe give our impressions of some of the things we saw this year. So Ben, first of all, I want to talk about what we got right this year on Game Runs Deep. We both were very high on Vanderbilt being a legitimate CFP contender, and although the Commodores fell short, yes, I actually screenshotted that.
Did you?
Let me put that up. Yes, I
was curious what that would be.
Yeah, number 3, and it makes sense that they were number 3.
I did an all-day AMA on the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com. If you live on 3, scan this QR code so you can join us, not just for an hour, but every day. And somebody asked me what they think the final 10 would be, and I was like, well, of course Ole Miss should be 3rd. But then I thought because Ole Miss, has always been treated a certain way by the pollsters, it feels like that they'd find a way to sneak somebody else in there. Ole Miss finishing 3 is right. Good on the pollsters.
Hell yeah, the way Oregon got boat raced. I mean, it makes total sense.
Yeah. Oregon getting wiped off the field. That was a bad look. Georgia, man, Georgia at 6 seems low, but I guess it makes sense, Texas A&M at 8 is. Oh, Napoleon says I got barred from America's Got Talent for my singing. Drew says, please, Ben, don't sing. My dog was howling.
I think Ben's a great singer.
We're not really. I don't care about that. I just thought, like, dang, guys.
I'm just saying. When you were singing, I was like, I actually recognize that tune. That's crazy.
But Ole Miss at 3 makes a ton of sense.
And this is what I said going into the playoff. I was like, I get why Ole Miss was at 6, but they should have been
Better than-
5. I thought they deserved to be 5 going in, and would have been you would have run into Indiana eventually, but
Do you think
yeah.
Ole Miss would have given Indiana a similarly good game to Miami? Could they have won?
I think Ole Miss's offensive weapons would have made that game very fun. I just think the same issues we saw with the Ole Miss defense would have come up against Indiana. You saw how well Indiana ran the ball on that Miami front. Now imagine that run game against Ole Miss's front, which Pete Golding is actively rebuilding right now.
Well, when you contrast this, the final AP poll with Ole Miss number 3 with this for next year.
Oh my God. We should do this first before we go back to what we got wrong. Let's do this first, because when you told me that you scheduled the episode and I saw the title, I got very excited about this. What the hell, bro? What is this? What the hell is this?
My first question is this with or without Trinidad Chambliss? Because with 15 is insane. That is diabolical.
Yeah. Also, Indiana just got Josh Hoover as well at quarterback. And I know there's no guarantees, whatever, but this is a 4,000-yard passer at TCU. You're not just getting some random guy. So Indiana at 5 is confusing to me. All right, let's just go through this, because Ohio State number 1, fine.
Okay.
Georgia
number 2, fine.
Julian Sands coming back. They're going to reload. It's Ohio State. Georgia 2, fine. Gunnar Stockton comes back. They reload, get talent. Texas at 3, cool. Arch Manning's coming back after developing throughout the season. They're spending so much money in the portal.
Arch Manning and Cam Coleman's going to feed families.
100%. Now, number 4, Notre Dame. I can't with the Notre Dame shit, man.
Did Texas get Hollywood Smothers too?
Yes, they have Raleek Brown and Hollywood Smothers, and they added guys on defense, and they got Cam Coleman. Yeah, Texas is cooking. So Notre Dame at 4 is probably my first problem. I would put Indiana there before I put Notre Dame there. This constant year after year Notre Dame glaze in the preseason poll is just, I've gotten so fatigued from it that I just can't anymore. Yeah, it should be Indiana at 4 easily. And I guess Dante Moore comes back. So fine, Oregon 5, and dude. Ole Miss, you got to put them somewhere in that top 10 with Trinidad Chambliss back.
I said they can be no lower than 8.
I agree.
If Marcel Reed and Texas coming back, and Texas A&M, a college football playoff team with their quarterback coming back, can be 8, where does Trinidad Chambliss, who finished 8th in Heisman voting and will be a Heisman front runner for next year, as well as Kewan Lacey, where do they belong then? Miami, they're going to restock. I actually think they're going to be better at quarterback than they were with Carson Beck, with Mensa.
Yeah.
All right. And Malachi Tony is the most dynamic player in college football right now. My question is, why would Notre Dame get deference over Miami, let alone Ole Miss? Hell, let alone Texas A&M. It doesn't make any sense. Even more egregious than that, in my opinion, is LSU at 12 and Ole Miss at 15. My only question is that with or without Trinidad Chambliss? Without. Okay. All right. Okay. With? On what planet would, if the roles were reversed, if it was Georgia, again, logos don't matter anymore. Indiana proved that. But when it comes to these stupid rankings, they sure as heck are.
Yeah.
If Georgia just went 13-2, Texas went 13-2, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, LSU went 13-2 and returned their starting quarterback and running back, and honestly, defensively, have gotten better through their portal additions, even though they've lost some. Like Princeville is a loss. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
On what earth would those teams be 15?
No, it's actually ridiculous. And real Joel, yeah, man, ESPN, the Notre Dame glaze, it's just nation. It's just always been that way since all of us have been watching college football. It just is going to be that. But I'm with you, bro. This makes no sense. Indiana at 4, Oregon at 5 is fine to me. Give A&M 6. They got Brendan Sorsby. They're spending money.
Fine.
And this is where I think you throw Ole Miss in that 7, 8, 9 range. So, but to me, it's like A&M, Miami, Ole Miss, fine. OU, Michigan, I get, Underwood's back. LSU, they could be good. Kiffin's got a hell of a portal roster right now. We'll see. But
Hey, I
what
would
do we
love
do?
to look at the way too early college football top 25 for last year. I'm pretty much going to guarantee that Garrett Nussmeier and those LSU Tigers, where everyone's preseason number 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
And now they'll say, well, yeah, but that was without Lane. Lane's making more than Kirby Smart, and he has 3 CUSA championships to his resume. So if you want to believe in the upside, I get it. I mean, winning 10 more games in 5 of the last 6 years at Ole Miss is doing work. And maybe LSU is just that far ahead of Ole Miss forever and always. And that formula will just go down to Baton Rouge and it'll be fantastic and it'll win him a title in year 1. Right now, he ain't got nothing. Nothing of consequence. And yet, like, if winning the press conference and winning the way too early college football top 25 rankings is your goal, okay, let's just call this what it is, a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
A bunch of nonsense. So get that off my screen. I ain't look at that no more. I can't look at that no more. That's my company who I love on 3, but get that off my screen.
And I also think Florida is a little too low. You know how I feel about them coming into next year. All right.
Which I get, but also
that's fine. They haven't proved anything. That's like the fact that they're even ranked is I think enough acknowledgement. But
just there you go. LSU was 8 in the same on 3 poll last year. Ole Miss was 25th, and Ole Miss just finished third.
Yeah.
LSU lost to Houston in the Dukes and the what did they play? The Texas Bowl. Neat. Hashtag.
All right. What we got right on Game Runs Deep this year. Ben and I both believed in Vandy as a legitimate college football playoff contender, and although they didn't get in, the Commodores had quite possibly the best season we've seen from them in this era of college football. And now they've got a 5-star QB in Jared Curtis coming in, who can throw the ball really well. And good for Vanderbilt. I hope Ole Miss doesn't have to play them too often, but good for Vanderbilt. My takes on Miami. Boy, where's Jared Ivey? Someone go find Jared Ivey for me. Can we
talk your stuff?
Can we bring back the Ivy League and for one day and take away his accreditation? Isn't that what colleges have? Ivy League schools?
Sure.
Like state accreditation? Because, man, when Ben told me, he said, I can't believe you have to sit next to that guy and listen to that nonsense. I went, well, what's his case? What's the rebuttal? There wasn't one.
Jared's always the smartest man in the room.
And I love Jared Ivey. Here's the thing. Like, one of my favorite players. But come on, man. You know more about football than me. You saw back then. You just didn't want to believe it. That team has played the exact same way all year. And you know what, Ben? The only reason they lost those 2 games was because one Carson Beck.
Carson Beck, who, again,
Carson Beck.
I can't get over this. Where is it? According to
6 losses in college, 4 game-ending picks.
That is so bad.
Yeah.
That is so bad.
Yeah. So I'm glad to say that I know a little something about this sport. And you know what it is? It's called the eye test. I watched it, and I watched them, and I went, holy shit. They're built like, though, and I likened it to the Kirby Smart Georgia teams of 2022, 2023, because I have experience covering them, but you could go to a bunch of classic college football teams. You could go to some Bama teams. Some people pointed out 2001 Miami. I don't think they had talent like 2001 Miami. That team was insane. But it was physical. It was run heavy. They hit you in the mouth. They wanted you to submit. And they had a quarterback that was capable. And I knew that they could get this far, and they did. So
you got it right. All right, check that one.
The other part that I got right, and I you might have been on the boat on one.
Where's the like Ben got something right?
No, we did. I said Vandy. We said the Vandy thing, and then I said my takes on Miami. Now, I was not high on Nussmeier, Klubnik, or Sellers coming into the year.
And I really, really wanted to believe that Cade Klubnik was going to be that dude, and he was not.
Or Klubnik, as you called him for like 6 episodes.
I'm terrible at names. Terrible.
You still call Clark Lay, bro. You still call the man Clark Lay.
Nope.
You're like, I'll call him what I want.
Well, no, I never would say that. I don't want to disrespect somebody. Like if somebody said, "Hey, what's up, Ben Garrett?" I would be like, "What? No, it's Ben Garrett." I get it. Like
you'd be speaking to Irish guy then.
Yeah, Ben Garrett.
Jack, my dog, Jack. Yes, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, he said, "Congratulations, Sudu. Your reputation wasn't completely ruined by your Miami pick."
You should have seen me at this guy's house when they played Louisville. I was like, "Oh God, dude, the internet's gonna flame me for this." Jack,
I love
Jack's
how
actually
like
very
you're sitting there living life.
yeah,
Fellowship is one of God's greatest blessings, and you're sitting there with a friend,
damn
and
right.
you're watching football and having a wonderful time. And the first thing you
I
think
was
is
not
because you're
having a
such have such a broken,
yeah,
plugged in brain. Man,
yeah.
I'm gonna get raked over the coals online for this, man. Oh, really? Like, who
Yeah.
gives a crap if your mentions blow up? What is that gonna change?
No, no,
All
no.
you
It's
gotta do is take your phone and
yeah.
put it away.
It's not a matter of what they say about me. It's a personal pride thing. You know, it's like when you're wrong. So it's really pride. More, I want you to know I was cackling at him saying, yeah, Jack was on my ass about it. He really
That boy.
was.
That's what we need.
But it's a pride thing. You know, it's like when someone else is like, you're wrong. It's like, whatever. I don't care what you think. But personally, me, it's like I betrayed myself. It's like, what the hell, dude? How are you so wrong? So that was awesome. Takes on Nussmeier, Klubnik, Sellers. I don't think you were high on Sellers or Nussmeier,
No.
but you were high on Klubnik.
Yeah.
So partially, yeah. So we both.
No, but
so
also, like, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I was searching for somebody to get excited about.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why Trinidad Shambles was such a great story, man. Quarterback play wasn't good this year.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Fernando Mendoza, he was the best of the bunch. He's going to be QB11. He's going to be a Raider. If they were smart, they'd hire Sean McDermott and then just create the whole Buffalo Bills formula. Get Brian Daboll in there to kind of be his quarterback coach. I don't know, or his offensive coordinator. That's me going off the rails, but the fan casting.
That's a hell of a idea, by the way. I'd love that.
Oh, I think it'd be amazing. But other than that, look at this quarterback class. We were trying to find the quarterbacks for the 2026 NFL draft. You and I were. And, like, I didn't believe in Garrett Nussmeier. I didn't believe in Lenore Sellers. Now, I believe more in Lenore Sellers today, even though he didn't have a good year, than I did going into last year.
Yeah.
Because I think there really is some juice there.
Yeah.
Klubnik, dude, he is like the Dollar General brand version of Trevor Lawrence. He's not even that. He's like the dirt cheap. You ever shopped at Dirt Cheap here in Mississippi?
I don't think so. I know Cheapo Depot off Highway 6.
Same kind of principle. You know, Dirt Cheap's best place to go shopping. You can drive over toward Ripley, Mississippi. You find you a nice Dirt Cheap. Cade Klubnik's the Dirt Cheap version of Trevor Lawrence. You know, it didn't ever. And maybe
you call this man Dirt Cheap and then call him Klubnik, bro. You just getting flamed on a Monday.
I'm sorry, but I'm Ben Garrett. You know, like.
Shit, man.
All right, what else do we get right here?
All right, so that's what I got for what we got right. We got a lot of other stuff.
Man, I didn't get any love.
No, you did get. You got love for two of them. Miami was your only one that you didn't get love for. So that's what we got right. We're not going to sit here and talk about everything we got right, okay? We want to talk about what we got wrong. Now, first of all, I don't know if Ben was on this boat.
You do.
Sudu certainly was. Arch Manning was going to win the Heisman in my eyes this year.
Oh, yeah, I crushed you on that one.
Boy, was I wrong.
Hey, next year, though?
Yeah. Next year, legitimate contender. Ben actually, on our very first episode of Game Run Steep, said, stop crowning the kid before he's done anything. And, yeah, he was right. So, actually, that's one for you, Ben. See, I found my weakness and made it your strength. You're welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for your faint praise.
So, Arch for Heisman. The other thing I got wrong, I don't know where your take was on this. I thought DJ Lagway was going to have a hell of a year.
I did too.
Okay, so we both got that, man.
Woof. Woof.
That was bad.
I still believe that DJ Lagway could be something.
I do too.
I still do. I think he was poorly coached and developed. Now, do I think it's going to work under Dave Aranda at Baylor?
Who's their OC? Who's Baylor's OC? Let's look it up. Baylor.
You can figure that out.
Offensive coordinator.
I have no clue.
Jake Spavital. Oh, is that the A&M? The guy used to be at A&M?
Okay.
Right?
I don't know.
Was it A&M? Yeah, he was at A&M. So I think that
You're the national guy. I'm just the dinky little local Ole Miss guy.
He was the co-OC, I think, when Manziel was there, I want to say, for 1 year. Because I remember that name, Spavital.
It meant imagine being the offensive coordinator.
He's an interesting guy. Not a good head coach, but good OC seemingly.
You know how you'd be thinking.
We'll see. That one's we'll see what happens.
How many people made a career off of Johnny Manziel just being like next level insane?
So many.
You know what I mean? Like
Cliff,
that dude. Can you imagine Johnny Manziel in college football? That like, dude, he would be so insane in this.
Could you imagine Johnny Manziel without like substance abuse problems? He would be.
Everybody deals with their shit, man.
Incredible. No, that's not a knock. I'm just saying, imagine if he didn't have to deal with those demons, how good he could have been. I think about it all the time, how special Johnny Manziel actually could have been.
Like the most well-earned, easy Heisman ever.
Yeah. No, he was incredible. Okay, so Lagway. What I got wrong, I don't know where your stance was on this. Ole Miss's ceiling for the year. I thought Ole Miss was a, at best, 3-loss team, not a rebuild season with a first-year quarterback, a defense with not as much talent as the year before. I said, hey, at their best, they're going to be a outside-looking-in playoff team going 9-3. Very wrong. Very wrong on that one.
I don't remember what I picked Ole Miss to do. I think I said, I do. Yeah, I do. I said 9-3.
Okay. So we got
I said 9-3. But like I thought they would be a playoff contender. I just didn't think that they would kick the dang door down like they did.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing I got wrong. I don't know who your preseason natty favorite was.
That's UGA a great point by Jack here. Who didn't call us at 9-3 in the postseason? Who among us? He said, like, who among us did not? He's right.
That's fair. UGA winning it all this year. Wrong on that one. And that
Georgia and Kirby.
And that ended at the hands of the mighty Ole Miss Rebels.
Oh, Georgia and Kirby. They're going to.
You said the same thing. You said Georgia over Indiana. I don't want to hear it.
Look, that was slobbed on that Georgia knob like corn on the cob. Chill out now. Just like I wouldn't slobbing on that knob like corn on the cob, bro.
No. Who was your preseason favorite though? Because that was my preseason favorite.
Golly. Because I know you asked me who's going to win it all. I probably said Ohio State.
I think so.
No,
yeah.
I said Ohio State or Oregon.
Okay.
Because I was very bullish on Oregon, and like I still rode Oregon.
Yeah.
All the way till the end, even when they got their brains blown out.
You did.
Moore, like, what do we think about Dante Moore and Dylan Raiola's? That is such a weird thing to me.
I don't know.
Like Dante Moore would have been, for better or worse, because of this quarterback class, would have been a first-round pick. And he's going back to school. Think about that. The business has changed. They have Dylan Raiola on that friggin' roster, and there's no doubt they paid a pretty penny for him in the transfer portal. And yet Dante Moore comes back because he'll make more money than he probably would his rookie year, even as a first-rounder.
Yeah, that Nike money is
bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre. With Simmons, Ole Miss wouldn't have done as well. What do you think of that? Oh, if Austin
I agree.
doesn't get hurt. Excuse me.
Okay, I'm going to put my conspiracy theorist hat on.
Okay. Oh, nice. Dude, I'm going to totally build a tinfoil hat so whenever we do this, like I can actually just throw this off and put it
on. I think Lane Kiffin coming into the year. This is a conspiracy. It's not exactly what I believe, but this is something that's like in my brain as a kind of thing.
Okay.
Coming into the year, knew that Trinidad Chambliss was the better option at quarterback. You went to the same practices that Lane Kiffin was.
What I tell you very early on about Trinidad.
You told me, you said if he gets in, he ain't losing that job.
No.
I had people like friends who go to practices and different things be like, dude, Austin Simmons is throwing a lot of interceptions. He's making the same mistakes over and over. There's this other guy there
that's not doing that.
Some other kid who's zipping the ball, who looks good, whatever. I didn't think much of it. So this is a conspiracy that Kiffin knew coming into the year that Trinidad was better, but he decided to play Simmons because he knew he was going to leave. He knew that this was, and I know
juicy.
I don't want to say for a fact, but I have a strong reason to believe that Lane Kiffin coming into this season knew that this was going to be his last season at Ole Miss.
Oh, he knew this was going to be his last year.
And Kiffin wanted to give Simmons reps because when it was time to leave, he would have his quarterback for the next school ready to go with a year of SEC experience. But when Simmons got hurt, Kiffin's plan was impeded. And he had, oh God, what do I now? We got to play Trinidad. Impeded. What did I say? We all have our shortcomings. You with names, me with certain words.
Names and birthdays. If I don't wish you a happy birthday, it's not because I don't love you. And if I find out, I feel terrible about it. But like, happy birthday to all of you who have birthdays, which is all of us.
You know what our chat's gonna love, Ben, is my birthday. Our chat's gonna blow up if I tell them what my birthday is.
Tell
Ben
them.
doesn't remember. He doesn't
Tell
remember.
them.
That's why he's playing it off like
Tell
he
them.
knows what I'm talking
I
about.
don't. I don't remember. When's my birthday?
It's on my calendar. I'll look it
Yeah,
up
that
right now.
doesn't count. I'm saying remember it off the top of the dome.
Is my birthday in your calendar? Probably not.
Probably.
That's fine.
All right, we're not doing this. Buy or sell, Simmons will throw more than 10 picks.
And no, I'm not finished. Your birthday's August 18th. I'm not finished. First of all, my birthday is 420. Second of all,
Of course, it's 420.
Kiffin knew, and he didn't play him. So that's my conspiracy.
Look at Matty P. He said, no way. It's 420, dude. But tell him.
It is 420. So
I'll
y'all
be
have fun
honest
with
with you.
that. Y'all have fun
honest
with
with you.
that.
I forgot, because I'm bad at birthdays, I forgot that Sudu's birthday was on 420, because I would have made that joke a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised
you knew I forgot.
Yeah.
You know, Mary's right. Happy birthday to everyone in 2026. Everybody. I love you all. You know, like if you see me in the street, I'm a hugger. That's the only thing I'll say. I'm a hugger. So like if you come and go, hey Ben, I'm gonna hug you. I'm just a hugging guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big stupid teddy bear in that way. So yes, happy birthday to everybody. Look, Daddy says, I knew when you said it was gonna be 420. It is 420. What up, Daddy?
Oh,
Daddy,
yeah, Zeke.
Chris, my guy Chris explains lots.
I have never inhaled, or what was Bill Clinton's quote one time? He's like
talking about the cigar that with the Monica Lewinsky thing.
No. They asked him if he'd smoked weed before, and I think Bill Clinton said something like, I took a puff once, but I didn't inhale or something. You know what I mean?
Like, come on now, Bill. My man Bill Clinton. Think about this cat, man. Like, he was getting dome in the Oval Office, turned into the Oral Office. Could play saxophone like Kenny G. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Risen up everybody. I did
no,
not
have
sexual relations with that woman.
The quote was,
yeah, and you telling me the man who said that right there, I smoked pot, but I only just went, no, this is bad. Oh, I did the deep breath.
He said I experimented with marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it. I didn't inhale.
Sure you did.
Never tried it again.
That's what I remember the most about Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Now, these days he's known for other things, but back in the day, the saxophone was definitely one of his big accomplishments. That's all. I'll leave it at that.
Man, dropping the bomb that your birthday is on. I will never forget it now. Like I won't now. I want all of the comment section to never forget this.
Yeah.
This man right here, somebody from Atlanta is calling me. Oh, we got to wrap up, don't we? Yeah.
We got to wrap up soon.
Gotta.
Okay. Why? Is that like a call you were anticipating?
I think I'm supposed to be on the Chuck Oliver show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, we can wrap up. I was going to say preseason natty faves, UGA, Texas, Bama, Miami for me. 3 of those teams got in the playoffs. So that's that. The biggest disappointment for me, Ben, was Texas. And this is a list. I'm going to have you pick one out of this. This is just the ones I could come up with. The biggest disappointments of the 2025 college football season. University of Texas.
Yep.
The crop of star QBs, Nussmeier, Klubnik, Manning, Lagway, Sellers.
That's my biggest disappointment.
Okay, yeah, that's between those two. So you're going to say the crop of star QBs.
Quarterbacks. Man, have you looked at the quarterbacks for next year for this draft? After Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, it's rough.
It is nasty. Now, I don't want to hear anybody say, well, this is the worst class ever. Dude, no. Don't make me send you back. Like, God bless Matt Corral, one of the greatest Ole Miss quarterbacks of all time. But like, don't go back to that quarterback class. You want to talk about bad quarterback classes. All right. This is different. All right, I'm gonna answer this real quick. You take over for me. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. You do your thing.
Tell Chuck Oliver I'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good. While Ben does that, a couple other things I wanted to touch on is the best team story, chat, and you guys can give me your take on this. So the best story for any team this season, and the 3 I could come up with was Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, or Indiana. Right? Indiana wins the national title, but Indiana also was building towards it based on what they did a season ago. Vandy, you could say a little bit with Pavia, right? But Ole Miss, to me, was insane with Trinidad, and you're losing Jackson Dart, and you're losing all these NFL draft picks on the defense. So to me, the best team story for just this season, you could make the case for Ole Miss. But I guess you have to give it to Indiana, right? I don't know, chat. What do you guys think?
All right. I don't think the Chuck Oliver show is particularly happy with me right now.
Sorry, Chuck Oliver.
We all got a job to do. This actually pays the bills, and I'm thankful for Chuck Oliver and them.
Did you hear the question? Or I guess, were you away?
I was away. What happened?
The best story for any team this season between Vandy, Ole Miss, or Indiana. You have to go with No. I mean, like as a team.
Oh, Indiana.
Indiana, right?
Indiana.
Like Ole Miss, I think you could make a case, but I just think like everyone's saying 16-0 with a transfer for a roster full of JMU transfers is nuts.
Yes. Yeah. But the best singular story in college football was a 0-star recruit transfer from Division II Ferris State after spring was over, coming to a place where he knew he was going to be the backup. Not only taking that job and running with it, but finished 8th in Heisman voting. Led Ole Miss to its first ever 13-win season. They finished number 3 in the AP poll, which came out today. To me, that's the singular greatest story in all of college football. Just tuned in. What is the A on the hat for? It's baseball season. Them Braves. Even though my guy Son Kim has already been hurt, and we had to sign. Oh yeah, you got it. Look at it. I got my Jorge Soler right over here.
It's Ronnie season, baby.
So that's the Braves, baby. It's baseball season. Even though a lot of college basketball is happening, Ole Miss has won 3 straight at the Ole Miss Spirit. That QR
what
code
a job! Right, a great writer I know actually wrote an article this week about how Chris Beard's doing his best job right now. You can scan that.
Give me some love, man. Thank you, dude.
You can scan that QR code to go read that article. Okay, we have to wrap up. So let's wrap up. Breakout player. I think I know your answer here. It's really between Fernando Mendoza and Trinidad Chambliss. Who do you go with, the Heisman winner that just won the Natty, or do you give it to a guy
like the winner that just won the Natty?
But here's the case: Fernando Mendoza was already a Division I quarterback. We'd seen him play at Cal, right? He was a transfer portal guy that went to Indiana. So is that really a breakout the same way it is for a D2 transfer that wasn't even the starter at the beginning of the season, 1 game away from a Natty?
You have to give it to Fernando Mendoza only because 16-0, Indiana, winning the championship, winning the Heisman, going to be QB11. He deserves that.
That's fair.
Daddy Zeke's got some fire. He's spitting. But Trinidad, in terms of just like singular stories.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the best story in college football this year. It just doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't even become remotely close.
Yeah. For you, the game of the year. I think I know what your answer is going to be. For me, it was Indiana. What was this? By the way, I thought this was funny. Who would have thought Austin Simmons would take more players to Mizzou than Kiff? How many has he taken so far?
Right now, I think Caden Lee, I don't know. He was very consistent throughout his negotiations with Ole Miss before getting to the portal, saying, listen, if Trinidad gets his injunction, I'll be back at Ole Miss next year. That came directly from team sources, coaches, players, you name it. He was consistent. I think more and more it's looking like he's just going to leave. And if he leaves, it's not going to be for LSU. It's going to be for Missouri to join his best friend, Austin Simmons. Austin Simmons has been not so subtle about the potential addition of Caden Lee. So that would be 3. Austin Simmons, Chris Graves, and Caden Lee if that were to happen. LSU, meanwhile, got Devin Harper, Winnie Watkins, Prince Willie Monmiel, and TJ Daugherty. So not quite.
So 4. Yeah.
But if I would have told you, Ole Miss fan, that at the end of all things, those are the players that Lane would have gotten you to sign up for it 100 times out of 100, even though there's pain there.
Yeah.
Not so much TJ Daugherty. Not so much like TJ Daugherty was Ole Miss's leading tackler. It's a loss, but also he had his issues, especially in run support. Luke Farrelly, whenever that's made official, he's on campus right now. I mean, he's, in my opinion, every bit the player, if not potentially better than TJ Daugherty. They're at worst the same type of player, right? TJ Daugherty became TJ Daugherty at Ole Miss. He wasn't much of nothing at Clemson. Came over here, got in Pete Golding's system, and they developed him, and look what happened.
And Daugherty's biggest strength was his ability to quarterback the defense. Like it wasn't necessarily his physical traits or any of that. It was his intelligence, right? Like, am I off base with that? That's kind of what I've.
He wore the green dot, man, and that matters. That matters.
That was a big deal.
But the thing is like you've got 2 guys. Like Farrelly was a green dot guy at Cal. Keaton Thomas from Baylor was a green dot guy under Dave Aranda, who was formerly the LSU defensive coordinator. And like if he's wearing the green dot, it says all you need to know. But for me, like Devin Harper is more of a loss for next season for Ole Miss than TJ Dowdy. And that sounds insane, but like they don't have an obvious replacement in that way. Now, Therese Davis was signed last off season to be a starting tackle in time, but like it's Therese Davis, and they signed the Florida transfer offensive lineman tackle. He's 6'7", but
he's a project.
He's more of a project, like than Steppen Start.
The kids played football for what, like 2 years? He didn't even play at Florida, and he played like 1 year of high school. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean he's from the UK. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that. Somebody said 300 folks watching, only 22 likes. Come on, y'all, smash that like button. I'm like, I'm looking at over 2,000 watching us.
2,136 right now.
But yes, I mean, smash the like button. More than that, sign up at the Ole Miss Spirit. Join us. We'd love to have you. 50% off new members if you're an Ole Miss fan, and a lot of you, most of you in this chat are. Go to the Ole Miss Spirit, and like I'll be talking to you all day. The best game of the year. Who was yours?
Mine was Indiana Penn State.
Mine was Ole Miss Georgia in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, that was number 2 for me. So I figured that was gonna. I knew that you were gonna say, but I just keep going back and thinking about what they did against Penn State and that last second touchdown. That was a very close.
Blair says nobody wants me in any chat daily, but I'll check in. Bull crap, we want everybody in here all the time. This man's a Penn State fan. Blair, you're welcome in anytime.
Let's go, Blair. Hey, happy for y'all with Matt Campbell.
Yeah, dude. Like Matt Campbell to me is just a perfect fit for Penn State.
I love that. And hey, I'll tell you what, I think James Franklin
and man Drew over here. I just signed up, Ben.
Let's go, Drew. Let's go, Drew. Okay, Benny. Before we leave, is there anything else we haven't touched on? Is there there's a couple Ole Miss people wanted to know about how much of a run we're going to make at Seton. I know there's a lot of anxiety about the offensive line, which is totally understandable. Is there any hope you can give them on whether it's Seton or any other line?
Pete Makos, On3 National Transfer Portal Guru, he put out that Ole Miss is working to bring him on a visit, but until he gets in on a visit, I'm going to expect him to go to one of LSU or Oregon.
Any other offensive linemen Ole Miss fans should be excited about, or a tackle potentially?
Hugh McBroom visited from ULM over the weekend. He left without committing. He's tripping to Cal. I think that offensive line and linebackers are the positions to specifically watch for.
All right. There you have it. You can follow him at Spirit Ben on Twitter, on Instagram. You can read and follow all his stuff at the Ole Miss Spirit, the QR code right above his head. If you're listening or watching without the QR code, omspirit.com. Sign up today for 50% off. I'm Sudu Upadhyay at Sudu TV on Twitter, Instagram. This podcast is also now affiliated with Mudcat Media. You can follow Mudcat Media at Mudcat Media on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Find us on Spotify. Give us a like. Or wherever else you get your pods from.
Look what Blair said, I'm a tortured ass soul, brother. I'm either dramatic or ridiculous, no in between. Who does that sound like to you, Sudu?
That sounds like Ben Garrett to me, if I've ever seen.
Sounds like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, brother.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in again. It's we're gonna have a hell of an offseason. A lot of fun stuff coming your way.
Josh Clemens. Let me tell you a story about old Josh Clemens. My man Josh Clemens could ball. He's a basketball player, but he's also a good baseball player. We grew up together. I love that dude. He comes in here and says hello and drops in constantly. My God, Josh, love you, man. Mary, you're always here first.
Mary, the MVP.
Always.
She's the MVP of this team.
And I'm supposed to be hosting a Disciple Now group in my house of 13-year-old girls on Saturday. And it's supposed to be snowing, man.
Oh, gosh.
Crazy snowing.
That's not
so God is good. And if I'll never forget that either. And also 420 is Sudu's birthday, because of course it is. God is good. And if it be his will that I am snowed in with 9 13-year-old girls in my house, so be it. But yeah, I'm looking at I'm watching the weather. You know what I mean? Like it's getting kind of nasty down here.
Good luck with that.
Josh said they got 8 inches in Colorado. Sudu says I got 8 inches right here.
All right. Nope, did not say that, but I'll give you your dedupe. All right, that's a good time to peace out. So thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe. We'll see y'all later.